Hi, everybody. I think I'm on. If you see me, if you happen to be on and you see me, would you just send me a little wave or something so I can see it? I think I can see chat now. My name's Shawn Shelton. I have a website called SageHeartSoul, and I just wanted to get out here and start seeing if maybe I could help some people. So I am gifted like a lot of people. Everybody's got gifts. So I just wanted to branch out a little bit more and see if I can use them. I have done a lot of reads for people over the internet when they set up appointments with me and things like that. And I wanted to see if I could just help this way too and enjoy having some two-way conversation as we go through the process here. Today I thought that, again, you guys, I'm going to periodically be looking over here because I don't have somebody to monitor. This is not a big deal for, where I have a lot of help. It's me, and I'm going to be watching to see. And I have a few things I noticed I need to update for the computer where I need to get, I can't remember what they call it, and some more jacks for the USB ports and just little things that you learn as you're going along here. And I always say, at this stage of the game in my life, if I want something fixed, I need to call one of the kindergarten grandbabies over and say, how does Nana do this? So I can get it done. And until then, I just do it myself and try to get through everything. So if you're out there, if you just joined me, if you can see me, would you let me know? You can just give me a hi or whatever, and we'll just see where we go from there. It says there we're good to go, so we should be okay. And I think we're live, and I'm hoping we're on Twitch too. I'm just not sure how to check all that out right now. So anybody who's really tech savvy, if you get on there and you see that, I'd appreciate it. I do have a cup of coffee here because, got to have some coffee once in a while. So let me tell you, I'll do a few shameless plugs because I have really a great group of people in my life that have been really helpful in the world of paranormal and psychic. This light thing's going to drive me crazy. I hope it doesn't bug you guys. It just shows how much older I am. So anyways, but there's a lot of when people talk about these things, and it's important that I just have such a different philosophy and take on it. So I thought this morning, I'm not sure if anybody's out there, but and I may repeat this first part again because we're just getting up and going. I really do appreciate anybody who can see me and is showing up. So I'm going to check over here too, because I think people may have responded in other places too to tell me they see something or they don't. That was somebody's video there. Anyways, so we'll just keep going, and I'm going to talk about things. So I have had a few experiences in my life because, I'm only 20 years old. Not. So, darn it. Anyways, I have had, just like everybody, a normal life, a great life. It's had its good and its bad. It's had its happy and sad times, and but overall, it's been a wonderful life. It's had its pain too, though, and I think a lot of us can associate to that and understand that, and we can either allow that to cause us great harm or bring us great good. And what I try to tell people is the thing that we need to really understand and remember is literally, I don't care where you live on the face of this planet. We are all headed to the same destination at the end of the day. We just happen to be born into different places, circumstances, locations, parents, good things, bad things, hard things, terrible things. And at the end of the day, we all take a ride somewhere, or we don't, and we just get buried right where we're at, but we all head to the same place. And I have never in my life have I seen anybody's hearse being followed by a U-Haul truck with all their belongings on it. I've just never seen that. And I never will, because at the end of the day, no matter what, that is, we go home. We go back to wherever home is to you, whatever home is for you, and whatever your connection is. So I really want you to know, I don't care what your religion is. I don't care what your belief system is. I do care that you have a center, whether that's God, Wakantanka, if that's, in another religion, if it's a whole nother thing. But for me, just for me, I believe we have one creator overall. We just call him different stuff, and that's okay. That's what I believe. And at the end of the day, because you know what, you guys, at the end of the day, we all go to the same place. We all take the same road. Different things are going on in our lives, but at the end of the day, we all go home somewhere, right? So if anybody's out there, I would really love it if you could write. I don't know if you can see me. I don't even know if I can send a chat to somebody. It looks like maybe I can send a chat. Let's see what this does. I'm going to engage my audience. How's that? I'm going to throw a wave out there. I think it's a pink wave. I hope. If it's something bad, I apologize. It's a little emoji com. Here we go. Okay, I did that part. And now I'm going to do the, oh, this is great. Okay, hold on. It went little. Hold on. I lost you. Oh, okay. I have to reduce again. How did I unreduce? There's my hand. Okay, I got to unreduce. Help me unreduce. I need that to go away. See, this is the stuff that happens to me that takes me a while to figure out. So I really apologize. I did something here and I need to, there it is. Now, we got to get this guy off here. I did something here. And I need to, there's no notification. That's really nice, but I do need to send this. So how do I make this go away? Okay. This is one of those moments where I go, darn it. So I got this thing up. It says notifications and it's over my emoji comms and I can't, I can't get it to go away. Of course. Oh, it went away. Okay, now I'm going to send out a hand here with a little wave. I don't know. Anyways, you guys, I hope if you see that, you can let me know that you're out there. Also, if any of my friends are out there who have my phone number or my text, just text me and let me know you see me. And if I'm not getting something out there just right, let me know that too. And I'll be glad to try to figure it out. So, let me give a few shameless plugs. I journeyed, I knew years ago from the time I was a little girl that I had some gifts because my mom had some gifts. She's still living. She's 87. But my mom, she didn't really talk about spirit or things like that. For my mom, it was more this. Maybe we were gone for a long time and my mom and I grew up pretty much together, right? Not that my mom was 25 when she had me, but we lived together a long time without my brothers and sister who were older. You guys, I'm going to answer this just because, oh, hold on. Hi, Aunt Ima. Okay. Okay. So I'm not getting any comments. Okay, and I'm gonna try when you start seeing any comments, they'll be on the side, and let me know. Okay, there you can send emoji comms. Okay, love you. Bye. That's my Aunt Ima. She lives in Texas with my Uncle Jack, and they have a little place there. And so she says that she can't see my chats. So welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by community rules. Let me learn more real quick. Learning more. Was this helpful? It can be. Controlling managing live chats. Personal, be cautious. Okay, we're out of that. So let me come back to you guys. Hold on. There I am. I'm back. So I don't have anybody yet. I don't know how to tell you to do the chat thing yet. So I tell you what, if you do know me, if you're out there and you want to talk to me and ask me a question, I am totally okay having you do that right over my phone. Okay. And that'll be for folks, of course, who know me real well, because you guys, I don't know how everybody is out there and who they all are. So again, I'm figuring things out, and I really appreciate your patience so much. Um, so I think, let's see, it says here, there is one person out there. I don't know. Can you even give me a thumbs up, anybody? If there's a thumbs up out there, or a subscribe, maybe I have to add those things. I'm not sure. But anyways, I'm going to keep going. So anyways, my mom was gifted in this way. My mom would be able to walk into our house when I was, younger, young teen. And she would stand there and get kind of a funny look on her face, and then she'd go, somebody's been in the house. And I'd go, no, nobody's been here, because it was just me and her. Wasn't a big house. So I'd walk through the house and she'd walk through the house, and she would just be adamant that somebody had been in that house. And lo and behold, we'd finally figure out somebody had been in the house. She knew it. She could sense that. So she has gifts that's kind of where they developed, in her ability to understand. And so I knew I was gifted. And probably about well, when I was a young teen, my mom worked all night, and it was just me and her, and we lived in a trailer house. And so I don't know if you've ever seen a trailer house catch on fire, but they'll burn up really quick. And so my bedroom was at one end and her bedroom was at the other end. And so when she worked at night, I would sleep in her room. In fact, I slept in her room a lot because she had a great big king size bed. What kid's going to miss out on a great big comfy king size bed, right? So I'd sleep in there because it had the rotary telephone, because back then we didn't have a cell phone to call. If I needed help, I had to find a way to call zero on the phone and ask for the police department, because we didn't even have 911 back then. So, gosh, I'm aging. I'm getting old. So, anyways, she'd go to work and I'd go get snuggled up in the bed and get ready, because I had to be up and go to school in the morning before she'd get back home. And so I was 13 years old. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I was sound asleep, and it was probably around two in the morning. Um, I got woke up. I opened my eyes up and I looked up, and right here beside me was the figure of a man. A man was standing there, clear as day, but he was different, because his face, his countenance was completely beautiful, brilliant white. I mean, it was the prettiest white I've ever seen. And his hands, and they kind of glowed. I could make out some facial stuff, but not real clear. I couldn't write a picture about what he looked like or anything. And he had on what I don't know if y'all know, but it's like an old houndstooth suit, like a wool suit. And he was standing there, and I just remember I didn't say anything to him, and he just looked at me, and I went, I call these my huh moments, where I go, huh, I'm thinking, what is that? And so I just laid there looking up at him, and we just, I got this deep sense that I was okay. He wasn't there to hurt me. I was wide awake, but I didn't know what to do or say, because it was such an odd experience. And I just remember looking at him, and what happened is he just gently bent down with his hand a little bit, like he was going to touch me right here and tell me, you're okay. He was going to comfort me. I never got the sense that he was anything but good. And so when he did that, though, that was it. My senses went, oh my goodness, here comes his hand. And I closed my eyes as tight as I could. And when I opened my eyes and looked back, he was gone, and it was quiet. But I've never forgot that. And I've never forgot that I didn't feel in danger at that moment. I didn't feel like he was a threat. I just got the sense that he came to check on me. I was a kid. I was in a place that was, you know, he wanted to make sure I was okay. And I think we all have those folks with us. I think we have them and they come in and out at different times of our lives. And it's okay. And so I told my mom about I couldn't even call her and tell her, Mom, guess what just happened? Because my mom worked for a big electronics plant and you couldn't call in there. You could get to a guard tower and then they'd have to run her down or get to the place where they could get her. And certainly I didn't want to take her off her line because my mom was a supervisor and she worked assembly, and you can't mess up that mojo in those plants because they get real excited when their product's not moving right. So anyways, for many years, different things would happen to me. I'd have different spirits around once in a while, and I would just not really acknowledge them. I just could feel them or sense that they were there, but I really wouldn't try talking to them too much. And sometimes I'd even enlist. I had some friends that trusted I was, what I knew I was, that I was gifted. I wasn't out of my mind. I just had stuff going on I didn't know what to deal with, And I I mean, it's just been an amazing journey. But about 2015, I was working in my customer service area at my job. I'm in a different place now, but I was there. And I'll never forget this morning. It was like a Tuesday, Wednesday morning, and I worked with a great group of girls. And but sometimes in the mornings like that, when you're because I'm talking customer service for electric, water, gas, those things. So you have people, you're busy all day, turning on, off, taking payments, making people happy, getting garbage stuff. You're just working a lot. Well, sometimes, so when you get kind of a down moment, you know, two or three would go get coffee or get a snack across the road or whatever, and I just happened to be standing there. I wasn't going to do anything, so I was just hanging out, and there was one other person. So it was a long L-shaped counter, right? So there was like three on this side, and I think there was five or six on this side spaces. And then over on this side of this great big room was credit services. And they had like a partition, so you couldn't see them and their office, right? We could see it if we walked behind there, but you couldn't see it if you from where we were. So I am standing there just doing my, looking at stuff, making sure I'm ready to go. It's completely crickets in the lobby. There's nobody, which is so odd. We're used to it sometimes, but it just when it happened, you were like, wow, this is so strange. People don't have anything going on. Anyway, so I was there and I remember my head was down, and all of a sudden I got the most intense sense that I had just missed somebody received like 2 or 3 dozen roses. That's how I felt. The smell was so intense and so lit up in that room that I went, how did I miss that? I just had my head down a second. So I started, and there was, like I said, it was quiet. There's no reason I couldn't walk around. So I walked over to credit services thinking, oh, it's got to be a girl over there. She probably got, it's an anniversary or birthday or something. And somebody's getting something over there. So I walked over, not a flower in sight, business as usual. Everybody's happy. I come back down. I walk past the vault. I look in. I just happened to mention to the little gal back there, do you sell anything? You sell flowers? And she goes, maybe. So she wasn't getting that big hit like I was getting. So I went, okay. Came back. I looked around the other girl that was across the room. She wasn't touched, but I'm telling you guys, that was such an intensive smell on my nose that I'll never forget it. It was as if, and this, in the old days, on Main Street, some of the flower shops were small. They wouldn't be small areas. And so when you walked in there, you were inundated with this beautiful, oh my gosh, flowers everywhere smell, right? If you walk into a good old flower shop, that's how they are. The Walmart and the Fry's, yeah, you get some glimpses of that, but I'm talking about you're in a small space, so that smells intense. This is how it was. It was so intense that I could feel it along my sinuses, that it was bugging my nose. That's how bad it was getting. And I'm thinking, what is that? Well, okay, so probably, 5 minutes or less has gone by. Well, all of a sudden, this very pretty 20-ish, mid 20s young lady walks in the room. I think she had a little one with her maybe. But anyway, she walks in the room and she comes in and I hears this smell and I'm still trying to deal with it. Now my eyes are watering. This is how intense it is. My eyes are watering. My nose is running. My nose runs every day anyways because I have allergies. And so I'm just talking to her and trying to help her. And she pushes her bill through the window, over to me. Back then they didn't have windows up. And so I'm just talking to her and I said, excuse me just a second. And I turn around and wipe my nose and said, my nose hurts. My sinuses hurt. I said, I smell flowers. And she goes, I do too. And then I went, it's nobody got flowers. I said, it's almost like somebody is giving somebody a message. It was my aha moment. It right there, plain as day. Spirit waited till I had nobody else it could belong to but this beautiful young woman. And I said to her, I said, did you lose anybody recently? And she said, I did. I said, fairly recent? She goes, last weekend, I buried my grandfather. I said, were you close to him? And she started to cry. And she said, I was super close to him. She said, I don't know what I'm going to do without him. He was in my life, all the time. He was there for me all the time. And I said, oh, I get it now. I'm slow learner. I said, you know what, honey, your grandpa's with you. I said, because you and I are the only people smelling those roses right now. And I said, and you are special to your grandfather. And he came in this morning right before you to let me know that I needed to tell you because I'm a little gifted and I try to ignore it sometimes, but this is what I sense for you. So this is his way of letting you know that when you smell these flowers, that's him. He's letting you know he's there. And for you to keep going. And anytime you smell beautiful, big old woof of flowers, that's your grandpa. He's talking to you. Okay. And I finally said, could you quit crying? Because they're going to think I'm being mean to you about your bill. And so she chuckled and she said, thank you so much. And right there, you guys, was a huge turning point for me that I knew that not that I'm special, but that spirit knew they could come to me and I could be the radio and talk to her. And I really, and here's how it confirmed out. When I got her all taken care of and handed her a tissue and got my nose taken care of and she walked out, the flowers left. He left with her. So it was a beautiful moment for me, but it was certainly a confirming moment. Maybe you've had something like that. And when I get up more and get going better, I would love to hear your stories. I do. Spirit is just amazing. And it's just comforting for me to know, like I just told you, I do believe that for all the hustle and bustle we have on us every day, everything we're trying to do, everything we're trying to accomplish, every place we're trying to go, if we really think about it, in one moment when it all stops, we all stop the same way. We might go out differently, but we're all headed to the same place. So, and I do not believe that that's it, because I don't believe this is all we get. I think we were so much more before this got here. Okay. So I always tell everybody, I think we're beautiful, magnificent spirits that come here to get our physical whatever. And think about it. Some of us get that in utero. So when we're pregnant with babies or our babies are coming, they don't make it. But they come here and get as far as they need to in whatever that journey is to leave. Sometimes they leave before that 9-month period. Sometimes they leave a couple years after they're here. Sometimes they live to be 130 years old or more, right? Because we all have some kind of purpose and destiny here that we need to work on and fulfill. And I don't know about you, but for me, when we talk about, even God, if we think about it, the greatest commandment that my belief system allows me to believe in. And again, I don't knock anybody. You believe what you want to believe, okay? But for me, the greatest commandment God ever gave was for us to love one another. I think we're all missing that boat a little bit. That's our greatest commandment. But even God had a goal. Can you tell me what God's goal is? I'll just put it out there for you because my chat thing clearly is not working. So my goal thing, let me see if anybody's tried to text me too. Oh, don't see any texts out here. That's okay, guys. I'm still talking, still blabbing. Thank you, Adrian. I see that you liked my TikTok out there. Thank you, bud. Um, and Shelby, I think you just chimed in there too. So thank you, guys. Like I said, I wish I could get this all fixed, but I'm not there yet. I'm so sad. But anyways, I'm going to keep going. Today is my goal to get this out here for you. I am here. Anyways, so I believe that our great creator has one goal, and that's to get us all back to him, to get us all home to him, back where we came from. And so I think we make so much out of this life, and because we're supposed to. We're supposed to have happiness and joy and live and enjoy everything this great, big, beautiful world can offer us. And it can go so good, and it can also go so wrong and so bad. But in the end, if we do our part and we are the best we can be, we go home, and we go home anyways. So here's my take on this, whole heaven hell thing. Do I think that there's a hell out there? Oh yeah. I think maybe for a lot of people it's right here on earth. Okay? I think they live their lives in such a precarious manner and in such an unknowing, unloving, unloved manner that they create, excuse me, I gotta wipe my nose. Oh, it's itching. Manner that they kind of create their own hell on earth, right? I think we all could do that if we didn't watch our P's and Q's and behave ourselves. And, understand that joy does not mean you get to go destroy other people's lives or cause pain or agony to other souls. It just does not mean that. But I do think that there are sometimes folks out there who we don't get it right. We don't get it right on the first run. Now, that probably runs along the reincarnation thing. I don't have a real firm view either way, but here's my take. So there's some great series out there. There's a great one I love, you guys, called what is that? There's a ghost in my child. A ghost with him. Anyways, it's on Netflix. If you want to catch a really interesting show, that's an interesting show. And it talks about these children who are born, and in their first 5, 6, 7 years of life, they're talking about people that they know nothing of, that are not part of their family. They're not relatives. They have no history of them in the house. They have nothing that they've ever heard or been taught to about. Their parents haven't discussed them, but they talk about being these amazing people that they're talking about or knowing them. And some of them are fascinating. I mean, if you get an opportunity, check out that show. I don't know, reincarnation gets such a bad rap, but I think what it is if you screw up really bad, don't you kind of wonder, because God, he's a great guy. Don't you kind of wonder if maybe he doesn't have a big room up there? Here's my take on it. So, I'm terrified when he opens up my file cabinet of life. I don't know if you ever saw that movie. I think it's called God. It's got Morgan Freeman in it and Jim Carrey. Anyways, Jim has to go have his, he's got to go up with the big guy there, and big guy pulls out his file cabinet. Well, he walks from one end of this football field size room down to the other with Jim Carrey's file cabinet open to discuss the things that he didn't do quite so right, that he could have done better. And I'm terrified. I don't want to see what mine looks like. Okay. I'm worried, but I've done the best I can and I'll fix whatever I need to fix. Right. But anyways, here's my theory on it. Don't you, I can see God walking into a great big room full of people that have really screwed this up. I mean, they have done some rotten, no good, awful things. And they have to fix that. Because why? Because poor God, and I say that with love, has a job. He said his goal is to bring you home, and he means it. Okay? So if we screw it up, we can't screw it up bad and get home. So I think he comes in there and goes, okay, look, you're going back. You screwed this up. Fix that crap, right? And I know I'm making fun of that, and I don't mean that in an inconsiderate or unloving way. But I mean, there's the reality. Dad walks in the room and says, "What am I going to do with you? You got to get this right. I have a goal. You're not meeting my goal. Go fix that crap and get it right." So I do wonder. I do wonder if maybe we come back more than once. And then I wonder, and for some of us, I think we're just too special to come back. They were so perfect, they didn't need to do that. They had another job. Okay. And so that's just my take on it. It is, I believe that we are all gifted. 1 Corinthians verse 12 saved my life in that. And I say that, not that my life was ever in jeopardy in that way, because I believe God, my gifts are from God. But 1 Corinthians 12, if you're gifted, it kind of makes it okay. Um, I've had friends that were very worried about me to the point that they had read scripture from the old verses, and the old verses, they used to kill people that had this kind of stuff, blah blah. But I just went, wait a minute. In the new verses, there's a different take on that, because a lot of things that where people are killed, they're controlled by man. Okay. Um, and so it's been a journey for me, and being okay with myself, and understanding and being loved by God. I do believe that. And so anyways, I didn't want to get too philosophical. I apologize, but just to give you a background there. So we're all allowed to have these. We all have different versions of them. Some of y'all may have them and not want to acknowledge them. And guess what? It's okay. It's not for everybody. And once you do realize what you are capable of, I don't know about everybody else out there, but I have I just love people. I've worked with people my whole life in some kind of customer service. I'm going live in a little bit. If you can get some kind of customer. My phone just went on by itself. We'll see how it goes today. Do you think maybe Spirit's here with us? You should be able to chat. That's pretty interesting, guys. And I don't even know how to get it off right now. So I'm just sitting here in my little space. And just so, well, it's repeating. Okay, let's reset the phone, because I don't know how to do it right now. And so these are the things I want to tell you about. There's nobody here with me, and the phone just started talking. It's been on the whole time. Good morning. I'm going live in a little bit. If you can get on, I'm just going to be on about an hour. And it decided to come on again, and some more. Hope to see you there. So let's just turn that down. We'll just turn it down. I don't know how to get it off right now. Those are the things I'm talking about. I'm not alone. Spirit is around. I talked this morning and said, I was going to go live Thursdays. I'm going to have a specific day. But you know what? I have a little pendulum here. Used to be terrified of this little guy, but I'm not anymore. I do rely on it, because these stones, these beautiful stones that we have here, I have amethyst. Let me show you some real quick. Hold on just a second while we're doing this. You're going to see my very professional office chair there. Okay, so let me just explain some of these things. I have just opened myself up, and I want to give a shout out to my friend Tina Escoto. Tina uses horses to heal people. She's a healer and she's a medium psychic as well. And she doesn't really care for, it's not that she doesn't care for it. She doesn't get the same feelings from minerals and stuff, but I do. I think they work for me in a lot of ways, right? So this is a quartz. This is an amethyst. This can bring you some peace. If you're an anxious person, I recommend trying one of these out. Just go to your local rock store and buy a rough cut piece of amethyst. They shear off if they fall. So, and some of my rocks walk away. they find they get up and go, and then I'll find them someplace I never dreamed they'd be. And Tina tells this great story, and I hope she's okay with me mentioning it. Tina, who doesn't always think about these guys, told me this story about where one day in her shower, she found a little grouping. I think it was one or a couple little groupings of some minerals that showed up in her shower after she was working on a very intense process that she was considering and thinking about. So, Spirit does amazing things to let you know they're around. I don't know if you can see this little guy. I just love him. I don't know if his color will pop. This one right here, I forget what they call it, guys, but see that beautiful hue in there? This is a stone more often found up in the northern Canadian, Alaskan areas more so, and it looks like the northern lights in here. I wish I had my larger one. They're beautiful. And the Native American up there, they have looked at those as their spirit people, okay, coming and waving basically and saying, hey. This I picked this up, the story on this little rose quartz here. I My grandmother Dorothy, um, grandma had a rough childhood coming up too, and she wasn't always as easygoing, maybe as other nanas are, grandmas are. And but anyways, I know that when I learned about this passing of my boy Cody, I felt an incredible sense that I needed a piece of rose quartz for my grandmother. I don't know if she was with him and helping him. Cody would have been very little when he was born, I think when she passed, he was only probably, gosh, it seems like 6, 7 years old, maybe max. And so I have that for her. But anyways, whatever you do, I've got my turquoise. I'm a Choctaw Indian. Of course, I'm not 100%er. I'm going to tell you something about that. I am as Choctaw as my little heart can be. I love my ancestry. I knew I was Native when my mom is blonde haired, blue eyed. We knew we were natives when we were born. My mom knew she was Native. But I've come from a lot of histories, a lot of backgrounds, a lot of ethnicities, and I did my DNA, and it's been a wonderful journey. And here's what I have to tell you. There's not one drop of blood that is not in me from somewhere all over this world, from people. So if you all think you come from just one place, one certain people, you don't. Sorry. I hate to burst your bubble. Your DNA will show you that in many ways. We are all part of the human tribe. I have cups I make like that. They say part of the human tribe. And I love that. I love people. If you treat me good, I treat you good. You don't want to talk to me? Don't talk to me. I still wish the best for you. Okay? I can't fix, none of us can fix the past our ancestors have done. All we can do is move forward and be a better ancestors for our children who will have to go on and do better. Okay? I believe they're with me. I believe they fulfill what I'm doing. I believe a lot of what's connected in me comes from my native side. I do. I can't help it. And other people who have bred me always find native people with me. So it's been an amazing journey. But anyways, so even Tina And my point is with all of this, you guys, is each person who's gifted has things that they work with, has things that they believe in more than maybe other stuff. Not that they believe, but that they work with more. Does that make sense? So for me, I try to be an evidentiary medium. I am psychic. If you're, so the way it goes is if you're a medium, you're psychic. If you're psychic, you might not necessarily be a medium. Doesn't mean you're gifted. Psychics are gifted. Okay. It's just that it's a different, there's different stuff going on in different ways. I'll tell you, for me, I have seen, I clearly from 13 on, I've seen people that are on the other side. I have smelled people who are on the other side with the roses. I have, many ways they talk to you. You just have to be willing to hear. My phone going off right now, I'm going to tell you right now, has something to do with something here with me today to help me. They're giving me a little heads up that they're here, and it's okay because they know what a nervous wreck I am about trying to do this and learn from it. So again, you guys, clearly I have a chat over here. I'm sure there's more than one person. I can see that somebody else is on or is connected because there's a thumbs up from somebody. So thank you. I appreciate it. It's probably my own thumbs up, but I appreciate you guys so much. And I just want to keep going with that. Let me give you another, let me show you how spirit works. I lost my boy in 2019, and I can't talk a whole lot about that because that's still an open case because my son did not leave this world all on his own. And so I'm still working on that. But it was 2 years before they found him. And sorry, it might make me cry just a little bit, so I apologize because I'm really good about it. My boy comes around. My boy is still my boy. My other little boy, he's doing awesome too. He's creating a whole new world. I want to give him a shout out. He might be out there today. And his dad and his stepmom, wonderful people, and they're helping him, and he needed that. And I'm so excited for him. And so, whoops, there they are. Sorry, guys. Let me get those. What makeup I have on, it's going to mess up. So let me get that. I got a sunburned head. I was out at a car show yesterday. No hat. Bad girl. Anyways, so here's the deal. I knew about 2 weeks after my boy went quiet that my boy was gone. And I knew that. So that said, it would be from 2019 to 2021 before he was found. And of course, when he was found, I was a police officer for a long time. And I can tell you, I already knew that if he was found 2 years later, that he wasn't going to be the same little boy I gave birth to. And I was right. Anyways, that said, sorry guys. That said, when I was able to get him and to touch what was left of him and to be in his presence for the last time, he was able to, and when I was able to say to my child, "Can you show me what happened?" He did as best he could. There's still questions out there. There's still a lot going on with it. But he did a brilliant, brilliant job. I mean, it's just been amazing. And when this is all done, when I finally am able to help him, conclude this for myself, even. Let me blow my nose, you guys. Hold on. Sorry. Oh. Woo! Sorry about those emotions. I'm telling you. That never changes. I don't care if if you lose a little tiny baby before they're here or 1 in 98. You don't lose your babies. You just don't. Anyway, so that said, not only was he able to speak with me, but he was able, I went to one of my sweethearts' children. These are my bonus children. I love them like they're my own as best I can. And I went to one of them that is gifted, and she too was able to get some amazing information. In fact, a lot of it crossed or connected, because you have to remember, mediums, people who see or feel or get that energy, we interpret it a certain way. So maybe I see something one way, maybe she sees something the other way, but when we talk about it, we're able to make the connection with it. Does that make sense? You're not always necessarily going to, you're not wrong. It's just how my brain picks up on what they're telling me and how her brain picks up on what he's telling her. But the beauty is when we're able to sit down and connect dots and go, wow, it was an amazing journey. And it has been. But I had to tell you this. I heard this story because I know we're almost out of our, I was just going to go for an hour. So I heard this story. I want to give a shout out. I hope it's okay, K-Town. You don't know me from a hole in the wall, but there's a lady named K-Town that's a DJ. I call her DJ. She's a talk show host, and she has Mysterious Radio. And her wife are the owner, producer, whatever, and it's out of Tennessee. But if you ever want to hear a show that talks about unique, different, interesting, off the chart, in the chart, haunted, not haunted, I mean, they just run the gamut on what they discuss. But they have some interesting dialogue on there. And oh, I lost my thought. Where was I headed with that? See what happens when you're getting older? Oh, shoot. Anyways, it'll come back to me. But she does a great job with that. So there's my plug for her. And again, Tina Escoto, she's a wonderful, wonderful mentor and teacher. Anybody looking to go ahead and progress on this, she's a great place locally here. And again, I think Tina can work over the internet as well. So anyway, so guys, I heard this. Oh, that's what it was. I heard this story on Mysterious Radio. This attorney was married to another attorney, husband and wife, had one child, just loved each other beyond belief. You guys might hear a noise here. I have a dog or two. Oh, yep, there's somebody. So that's Sunny. So anyways, so, because I'm in a very professional studio. All right. You know that. So anyways, so I had heard her say that it took her a good year and a half to get back on her health after her husband suddenly died, unexpectedly died. I'm sorry about Sunny. He must hear something. Um, anyways, but what happened is, this is over in the UK, and they have a different, I can't think of the name of it right now, but they have a different chat. They have a different text thing for what we do. It's the same process, but it's called something else. Anyway, so lo and behold, over time, she received a text from him, a chat from him. And she said when it first came in, it came in as all this gibberish she didn't even recognize. But there was one part of it that finally became a word. Well, then she reached out because she'd been working with a medium as her health was improving and her mental state was getting better. Because you know what? When you lose people, let me tell you, it'll do a number on you. Okay. You don't mean for it to, but it does. And anyway, her medium, who knew of the man but didn't know the man, lo and behold, a couple of days later, had to call her back to tell her that she received a text that was this odd text. And it talked about darling. And right when that happened, the wife who lost the husband knew it was him. There was no explanation why they got that, because his word for her was darling. That was his communication. And I said, oh, this is so awesome. I said, maybe I can get Cody to come through, right? And chat or hit his Facebook page. I'm so grateful that he's still up there. I try to type on it every now and then. It just allows me to see him. Anyway, so I said, hey, Cody, if you can, babe, do you think, because Cody's a brilliant person. He was a brilliant person. Do you think you could try to text? I hope the dog's not bugging you. I'm sorry. Anyways, I'd love to see it. So in the meantime, Art and I had to go buy a new water heater. Art's my sweetheart, guys. We've been together 18 years. He's the love of my life. Anyways, had to go get a water heater, right? So, and it had some cardboard and what have you, and he was trying to get it set up, and he had it outside, and I had walked in. This is a day or two after I asked Cody about that, right? I'm afraid I'm gonna start coughing. Sorry. I walk into my room and I noticed this piece of cardboard, a little piece of cardboard, but I'm thinking in my head, because I don't see anything on it. It's just a piece of cardboard. I got to pick that up, but I'm busy right then. So I'm doing something. So I walk on past it. I come back in and that cardboard's on the ground. Let me grab it real quick for you. You'll love this. Hold on. Hold on. Hang on. I'm still here. Don't give up. Okay, guys, the phone's ringing. The cardboard is nowhere to be found. And so let me tell you what it said, though. I have it. I have it in a drawer. I'll try and get it out next time because it blew my mind. It was only about this long, okay, about that wide. I flipped it over and it said LVU dash, or it said LV dash U. And on the bottom was Cody's signature on that piece of cardboard. Now, I had been in a dresser drawer looking for something and forgot completely that thing was in there and had somehow either pulled it out or he helped pull it out. And it hit the ground and I never knew it. But I know that sounds so what-ish. How's that prove anything? I don't care what anybody says. That was Cody's way of telling me he loved me. On September 26th, and before that time, when Cody wrote to me, he would write LB-U, the letter U. On September 26th, Cody had written LV-U, and I did not see it till 2 or 3 weeks into October, and I believe Cody went and left this earth towards the end of October. And it broke my heart. But I'm so grateful that he knows how to communicate with me, no matter how it happens. It was like he was going, well, look, I know I had this. You'd recognize this, Mom, but I couldn't figure out how to use the text yet. Because they can't always come to us. I get people sometimes for other people. So maybe I'll get people who are talking, who are doing their thing that I'm helping somebody with, but it might be, for instance, I did talk about with a woman I never met over the internet about a uncle that came through, and he was kind of talking about her dad too, and her dad had gone, but he was not really great with a computer at all. So we felt like the uncle was kind of coming through and helping. It just happened to me this week on another person I was reading, who I had said, and I was doing a psychic read and said, I see a big trip, more than a week or two, a day or two trip for you. And she told me she was wanted to go visit her grandmother. Well, I told her in that a medium portion of that had come through. Hold on just a second. Yes, Mom. Oh, I'm sorry to keep calling. The girls want to know if we can have dinner to take you tonight. Let me call you right back. I'm live right now. Let me call you right back. Bye. I'm on the computer, Mom. Gotta go. Love you. Bye. That's my mama. She calls me a lot. But I know that there's going to come a time in my life when my mama's not going to call me so much. So I take those calls. Anyways, so my point to you all is Spirit has an incredible way of coming through. The young lady was planning a trip to see a grandmother, but who came through was another grandmother, because this young lady missed getting to that funeral, and this grandmother was adamant she wasn't missing that one. And the funny thing is, you guys, I'll ask them for like, can you give me an idea of something I should know nothing about? So the first thing that popped into my mind was chocolate. So I told this young lady, you need to take this, when you go see this grandmother, you take her chocolate. And she just laughed. She said, my grandmother loves dark chocolate. And I said, okay, well, there's your grandmother, who's already on the other side, is telling you, don't you miss seeing this grandmother alive, and you get her that chocolate. Okay. So it's just a journey. It's an amazing journey. And I know I've done all the talking today. That's not how I want this to go all the time, you guys, but I'm hoping that as soon as I figure out why my chat's not chatting, okay, I will I'll be able to talk to you. So thanks for letting me come on today. I hope you had you got some good out of it. And if not, I'm at Sage Heart Soul. I try to put a blog out there too, and trying to get better at posting on that. I do have a book. Let me see if I can show you the book. I think I can. I'm real proud of this, you guys. It published on August 1st. This is you're a what? Because you know what's funny? People will want to talk to you about, they'll say, what do you do? Well, I'm a medium. I'm a psychic medium. And you'll get those people who will tell you all about experiences they've had. They'll tell you things that, they wonder about. And that's how it is. Because you're kind of, when you realize you're gifted, it's nice when you find like-minded people who don't think you're off your rock, right? So, or you get the other guy who goes, oh, that's really nice. Hi, John, I need to talk to you. Good talking to you. And they walk off, they're done. Okay. And that's okay too. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and shut down here. I want to thank you all. If there is anybody out there watching, thanks for watching today. I am here. I'm Shawn Shelton, Sage Heart Soul. You guys have a blessed day. And I don't know if you can see it on my little chart. It says touching hearts and lighting souls. And that's what I hope I get to do for you and for anybody else that wants to join us. You guys be safe. I'm going to say yakoke for the native side of me, and adios for the bilingual side of me. And I'll see y'all later, and you be safe and stay well, and God bless. Bye-bye.